concluding remarks, and then all three of us will be available for questions, and we'll go from there. First point I'd like to say is, to meet the challenges sustainably is going to be a big challenge. And some people you say, well, you say you got a double output in 40 years, and is that really so? And you may be off on your estimates of population growth, or you may be off on income growth, or you may be off on the income growing. What does that mean for increased meat, eggs, poultry, etc.? It's a very hard job to do, so you can miss the mark. But my point is, maybe the range is not double, maybe it's 85%, or maybe it's 115%. The point is, it's very large. That's all. And you can, make assumptions here, make assumptions there, but you can't deny the fact that we got to do some things to meet these challenges. The second is, with this analysis freezes the environmental footprint in agriculture, land, water, etc. Now, people can take issue with that a little bit. They're saying, maybe some more land in Brazil, maybe some more land that can be brought into production here or there. And that's true. I mean, I've seen estimates go from 5% more arable land to 15% more arable land. I mean, someplace in the area it's probably accurate. The fact is, though, you bring more land into production, there's a cost. There's a cost in preparing the land, both where it's lime, fertilizer, knocking down the bushes or whatever, and environmental costs. Where does the cattle go that were grazing on that land? Where do they go? Well, maybe more fragile land. So there's a cost, the economic cost and environmental cost to bringing more land into production. Now we can talk about water. It's hard to make the case agriculture is going to get much more water. Right now, we use 75% of all the fresh water in the world, 75%. Now, you take the assumption of a lot of experts, about 40 years from now, 70% of the world's population is going to be growing in urban areas. So, who has the votes? The 70% in urban areas that's going to demand water from agriculture. I mean, I think it's inescapable. So, my point is, yes, there may be some more resources we could add in agriculture, but it's not that much, and we're really kind of on the precipice of resource and input limits in increasing production. So, from a global harvest perspective, we look at the challenge, we look at the limits on inputs, and we say, we've got to basically grow 2 blades of grass where one once grew with no more water, no more land, no more other inputs. I mean, that's what we're trying to say in a nutshell. Now, there's good news to this, I think, and that is the challenges can be met. I mean, this is not really out of the question. But there's two things, I think, two big caveats here. Businesses, governments, and what we call NGOs need to work more together. I mean, the fact is, if we're going to solve these problems, there's not enough money in the treasuries of the industrialized countries to get this done, period. I don't care how many aid programs, development programs you have. You're going to have to bring in private sector. I mean, to really meet the challenges. So we've got to sort of lock arms together rather than kind of each one do their thing. You're focused on this area or that area. We've got to lock arms and put together our shoulders to the wheel to make it work. And it can work, though. And the second point is, you got to do now. You got to act now. You know how governments are all around the globe. They don't want to make a decision. Politicians don't until there's a crisis. Well, we don't have the luxury of waiting for a crisis. I mean, the seriousness of not meeting these challenges is devastating with regards to human suffering, global instability, etc. So, and like research, Neil mentioned it. Research could increase productivity. What's the time lag in research? From a research grant to it gets out in the field, 10 years, 12 years? Roger, maybe more? 15. So you've got to sort of now start moving to head off the crisis that may be in the offing if you don't act now. So that's my only two, but it is doable though. That's, you know, I think we can get down about it and oh my gosh, we can't do it, but we can. We just gotta act smart and act fast. What's GHI gonna do about it going forward? We are, I'll say this, we are very excited about the GAP report and the future of the GAP report. The GAP report is going to get better and better and better because of the work, the research agenda that USDA has, the work that the Farm Foundation does, and others, because we're going to have better data, better analysis about what's going on in the globe. So we want to come back here next year, hopefully they'll have us next year in October, and do an update in this benchmark and say, did we make progress? Okay, we made progress in this area of the world. Why did we make progress? Well, they're doing good things. Well, they need to keep on keeping on. This area of the world, they didn't. Rather than 1.75, we're at 0.25. What are the causes? What are the reasons? What kind of, can we give direction to around the globe as to dealing with these problems then? And I know that it sounds a little bit like pie in the sky, but it's not. It's really not. You figure that the global productivity network that's being developed, 25, 30, 40, 50 maybe researchers around the globe reporting in, doing analysis, and you're pretty soon, the GAP report will be very prescriptive, I think, about what can be done. And it's really, we want it to become a very signature event for us. I mean, I'll be frank about it, and we want to support these efforts as long as we can. The next thing that Global Harvest Initiative is going to do is, you know, we could be criticized. Well, you know, you do a GAP report, you know, well, what are you going to do about some of the things that may increase productivity? Well, we're working. There's probably 30 or 40 areas one could pick to say, you know, it could really be effective at increasing productivity. But we sort of whittled it down to about 5 that we have some experience with. We may be able to offer some, you know, good recommendations, if you will, etc. One's research and development. One is international trade. One's greater private sector involvement. One's streamlining international development infrastructure programs. And one is going to be science-based technologies based on science, the technologies themselves. Now, we're working on these white papers or position papers. They're all been drafted, first draft, but they got several iterations to go. But by year's end, we hope, and we will post on our website, in fact, what we stand for, what we think will make a difference. And next year, we'll decide, I think, which one of these, if any, but maybe a few that you really want to advocate. So that's what our agenda is going forward. And I just appreciate your willingness to come here and listen to it. And I'm going to stop there. I'll sort of end before I started.